If people are leaving your team and you don't know what to do, I am here to help. The Great Resignation is here. People are moving jobs like crazy. It can be extremely frustrating for anybody trying to build a team, trying to build a business, but I have 4 things that will help you out. Number 1, and by far the most important, you need to realize you have a lot to learn. If people are leaving, you need to understand why. It's really easy to create this narrative and the story that the world's against us, that people are quitting because they're lazy or that they don't get it. Whatever it is, the employers that get it, the employers that figure out what their people need are the ones that are going to keep their top performers. And when top performers are performing well, they have a place that they love and enjoy, they're going to be quick to tell other people to join this team because this is a boss who listens. So take the time to really listen to your people, understand what their needs are, and see what you can do. I mean, there's probably more room for flexibility than maybe you initially think. So don't assume that every suggestion they have you need to fulfill, but also don't assume that you're not going to be able to do anything. I mean, take the time to listen and show that you're working to make sure their needs are met and that they feel safe and secure with you as an employer. This will create long-lasting relationships and establishes trust. Number 2, take a really good look at the onboarding process. When an employee is hired, what does that experience look like? Are they getting the proper training? Do they have the tools needed to be set up for success? And what does that connection with their manager look like in the first 30 days? Because if they're showing up for work and they're not feeling prepared or they don't feel like they have a connection with their direct manager, it's going to be a lot easier for them to walk and leave and try to find somewhere else to work. And right now, there are tons of options. Everybody's hiring, so they know that if they leave, they can probably find another job very quickly. So with your current team, really look and think about what does their relationship with their manager look like? What are you doing as an employer to set their managers up for success? A lot of times companies take a lot of time to train their employees to make sure they are onboarded correctly, but they don't spend a lot of time with their managers. And so what happens, you have this transition from training where they have a great experience to the real world. And now they're working with the manager that doesn't really understand leadership, doesn't understand the fundamentals, and that can create a really poor experience. One of the most important indicators of employee engagement is the experience that people have with their direct manager. They want to work for somebody that cares about them. Number 3, create mentor programs. There are tons of benefits in having mentor programs established within your organization. One is it gives your tenured employees an opportunity to give back and invest in this new generation, the people that are new to the workforce, new to the team. But it also allows a connection for those that are new, the new hires, people that are motivated, that want to develop careers. They have somebody they know they can go to for guidance, for support, and it allows them to feel a deeper connection. When you have people on your team, you want to facilitate opportunities for them to work together and create lasting relationships. Working somewhere where you know people care about you is not something that you really see on a website as a perk of employment, but people feel it and they share it, they talk about it. And your employees, you want them to really be the biggest advocates of you as an employer. And creating those mentor partnerships can go a long ways in establishing that connection. And number 4, consistent recognition programs. People want to be recognized in different ways, but it's important that as employers, as leaders, as managers, we understand how our employees like to be recognized. Make this a priority. Put it in your calendar. Every single week, I'm going to make sure I recognize everybody that reports directly to me. As a boss, you can create this culture. If you're setting the example, if you're showing your managers, this is how our company runs. When somebody does a good job, we recognize them for it. And it doesn't always have to be monetary, right? It doesn't always have to be a gift card or a bonus. It can just be taking time out of your day to show someone you recognize that they were successful, that you taking time out of your day to recognize somebody being at their best or doing something great. The things that are recognized get repeated. And as bosses, as leaders, we set the expectations. So for demonstrating this is important, this is something that we do as part of our culture, it's going to carry forward throughout our organization. So follow those 4 steps. Understand you have a lot to learn. Listen to your employees. Understand what their needs are. Number 2, look at your onboarding processes. Number 3, establish mentor relationships within your organization. And number 4, make gratitude a priority. I'm not saying any of this is groundbreaking. You've probably read this before, but I challenge you to think about what does this actually look like in your organization? How well are you really executing on it? And if you're finding value from these videos, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment with one thing that you've seen create incredible cultures within organizations. I'd love to hear from you.